Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Angel. Thank you for stopping, clicking and watching. So, as you can see by the name of the title, today I thought I'd show you my shadow work tool, my Pandora's box, and even some of the decks I use in my shadow work practice, even some crystals I work with or use. So if you've seen my last video I posted, which was my favourite card in the tarot, which was my favourite card was the Tower card. You will have noticed, or you would have seen at the end of that video, that I mentioned my Pandora's box, and that is this box. So I'm going to start by saying that prior to my 2016 Tower moment, I was absolutely rubbish at dealing with uncomfortable thoughts and feelings and events that had happened in my life. And the way that I did used to deal with those kind of things was to just push the feelings down into what I like to call my inner Pandora's box inside of me, and shut the lid and just pretend those feelings didn't exist and just ignore them. And when my 2016 Tower moment happened, that incident blew that box wide apart, and all those locked away feelings and emotions and uncomfortable experiences just came flooding out like a tidal wave. So it was just a turmoil of uncomfortable, intensive, confusing emotions. So after that happened in 2016 and my inner Pandora's box had been destroyed, I promised myself that I wouldn't go back to that old technique of hiding things away within me, because it didn't do me any good at all. It wasn't a healthy way to, to pretend that things were fine when they weren't fine, and to try and just ignore uncomfortable feelings and thoughts and incidents that happened to me. So when I stepped onto my path in 2020, I obviously started working with my healing path and my beginner witch path, and I came up on this idea. I don't know how or where it was born from, or how the seed was planted in my mind, but I bought this this box. It was actually from eBay, and it's apparently made of onyx. It's very heavy, quite small, which is perfect. Hashtag secondhand treasure. I do like me a good secondhand find. And so this just struck a chord in me that it was perfect to work as my Pandora's box. And that's what I use this for now. This is now a shadow work tool. So whenever I have a day where, or an incident appears, within my day, what makes me feel uncomfortable or invokes a feeling within me, which I'm not willing to take out and look at, I write it down on a piece of this paper. Now this is just packaging paper, which I have cleansed and blessed. And I use this paper even for my petitions in my practice. So that's literally what I do. I write down, what has happened, or possibly the feeling that it invoked, or just a word that sums up the whole experience. And I write it on a piece of paper, fold the piece of paper up, and then put it in Pandora's box. Now the point of Pandora's box is not to gather difficult feelings and thoughts and hide them away. It's not for that. This is to gather them and to have them in a place until I'm ready and feel mentally able and strong enough to deal with them in my own time. Now, this box sits on my witchy desk all the time. It's always in my line of view. I can always see it when I'm at home. And so, I'm not trying to hide it away. It's in plain sight, and I know that whatever is in this box has to be dealt with at some point. But that point in time is when I'm ready to do it, and not, when it comes up, when I'm possibly not mentally or emotionally prepared for it. So this, it may sound daft, but it totally works for me. This is a really, really great shadow work tool for me. And as mentioned, it's not about gathering and hiding away. It's not about, locking them away again, like it used to be for me. Now it's about having them in a space, in a place that I know that at some point or another I need to take out, look at, and bring into the light. So that's my Pandora's box, and it works really, really well for me. Yeah, let's go to a few of the crystals that I work with in shadow work. This sits always on my witchy space, and I always do my shadow work in this space that I'm sitting at now. So I've got a collection of different crystals I use for shadow work. This is Numite. We've got onyx, smoky quartz, obsidian, apashitia, obsidian again, tourmaline. I can see what it's called, but I can't say it, so I'm going to put it on the screen. And the same with this one. I can't remember what it's called, so I'm going to put it on the screen. But this one's a grounding stone. Yeah, and these just sit on my witchy space where I do my shadow work. And this is selenite, a selenite pyramid in the centre. And this was also a second-hand find at a thrift shop. So those are my crystals. Let's look at a few decks that I work with. This is my tarot deck that I use exclusively for shadow work. This is the Dreamkeepers Tarot. This is the mass market version of this deck. I've edged mine in silver. So this deck for me is an amazing deck. It's a really intuitive deck. I really enjoy the artwork. I get a bit of an ancestral vibe from this as well. Yeah, I feel quite often, this is going to possibly sound daft as well, but I kind of feel that I feel like my ancestors are coming through in this deck, kind of almost like supporting me with my shadow work. Maybe sounds a bit daft, but it makes sense to me. I know the feeling that I get when I'm using this deck. Love the snake energy. I think the guidebook is really, really good for this deck. And yeah, I just really, really enjoy it. So yeah, that is the Dreamkeepers Tarot. I would definitely recommend this deck for shadow work, or for maybe dream work if it would possibly work for. I just find it really, yeah, so intuitive. And the artwork just really, you know, yeah, it's just, I just really love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that's my main tarot deck that I use for shadow work. Then I have 3 oracle decks that I have in this bag. Let's do this. So the first deck is the Dark Mirror Oracle. The next deck, let's have a look here, see if I can get these separated, is the Magick of You Oracle. And then the final one is the Season of the Witch Samhain edition, I'm going to call it. Hopefully that's correct. What's the word? What's the word I was going to say? What was I just about to say? My mind's gone a blank. No, I can't remember. So I'm going to start showing the cards. That's what happens when you get old. You forget what you're talking about. Okay, so this is the Magick of You Oracle. I'm going to do this and turn this over. I've also edged mine in black. Okay, so this deck I feel is fantastic for trauma work. That's just my humble opinion. I'm sure it's totally good for other, you know, other shadow work as well, but this totally works for me. I really enjoy the key phrases on these cards. I love this snake energy. I find the artwork very eerie and haunting. I wouldn't say it's scary, but it's just haunting and, yeah, and definitely eerie, I would call it. Really enjoy the guidebook. I find these cards also very intuitive. Yeah, and it works really, really well with the Dreamkeepers Tarot, I feel. which makes me also think this could possibly be very good for possibly dream work, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I've never tried it. Let's just do this, and let's just bring the Dreamkeepers Tarot back in so I can show you how they work together. Because, you know, we're here anyway. Caring is sharing, or sharing is caring. I don't know what the saying is, but, you know, it might give you a bit of an idea. I just think they pair really, really beautifully together. And it's just got that, yeah, like dreamlike feel to the artwork, possibly. So, yeah, really enjoy this pairing. So, yeah, let's move this out of the way. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so that was the Magick of You Oracle. Now, let's bring in the Dark Mirror Oracle. Let's do this. Now, this deck is the cards relate to the moon phases, which you'll see here, and they are referenced in the guidebook. Now, the guidebook is quite small for this oracle deck, and I believe it's by Lo Scarabeo, so I think there are several different languages in the same guidebook. So although it looks like a bit of a meaty guidebook, it's not particularly. It's quite yeah, it's not as meaty as it looks, but that's not saying that it's what's the word, that you're left wanting. That I will say about the guidebook is that you need to sit with the message. In my experience, I need to sit with the message. It's not just a bish bash bosh, there's your message, go and have a lovely day. I really need to, you know, read the message, sit with it, and yeah, and see what it sparks within me, or resonates within, or for me, almost. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, really enjoy it. I think it works really well with the other selection of oracles that I've got. I'm going to bring back and pair it again with the Dreamkeepers Tarot, so you can get a bit of impression. Let's do 2 more. I mean, look at this, it's just fantastic. And the last one, I mean, look, it's just, you know, it just works. It's so good, so good together. So yeah, that's the Dark Mirror Tarot. Did I mention all these decks are mass market? Did I mention that? I apologise if I forgot. And then we've got the Season of the Witch, Samhain, which I'm sure, you know, you've probably possibly seen, and you might even have worked with it recently, because we've just had the Samhain season, so you might have seen it or worked with it yourself. I tend to use this as to round off a reading. I tend to pull several cards of the Magick of You and the Dark Mirror Oracle, and this one is just like yeah, like just to round off the reading. So I tend to just pull one card from this. You know, if you've got this deck, you know that the guidebook is, in my opinion, it's a really good guidebook. It gives you really good messages. I personally wouldn't say this was an intuitive deck for me, but I've got nothing against reading a guidebook either. So yeah, that's the Season of the Witch Oracle. We're moving on to the next Oracle deck, and that is this one. Now this is the Lantern Oracle. This is also mass market. I've also edged mine in black, and this, in my humble opinion, is a fantastic Oracle deck. It really, really is. I don't see this very often on TarotTube, or not that I've noticed in any case, if it has been shown. I think this is really underrated. I love the key phrases and the secondary phrases as well. The guidebook is amazing. I like the age diversity in this deck, and the diversity generally. It is, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, holy moly. I'm going to put it on the screen. My mind has gone a blank. I do apologise. This is amazing. Strong feminine energy was what I was going to say. That's what I was thinking of in this deck. Look at this. Love it. So, so good. I've also got the Sacred, I think it's called the Sacred Rebels deck, which I could think was quite similar, although I don't feel they feel the same energy. So if I, you know, I do have both, but I use this one much more than I use the Sacred Rebels. But you know, it could be time to get that one back out again, I feel. Yeah, I can't sing this this oracle's praises enough. I think it's amazing. Really, really good. So yeah, that's the Lantern Oracle. Should we give a bit of a? Should we do a bit of a pairing as I did it with the rest? It would be a bit favoritism if I didn't do it with this one and did it with the others. So let's do this. Oopsie. Oh, apologies. I'm just about to have a coughing fit, I feel. Water pools, sorry. Sorry. My cold is refusing to give up on me. It's hanging on in there. One more and then no more. Yeah. Works for me, most definitely. Okay, then we've got one more oracle to take a looky at. And that is the Oracle of Shadows and Lights, also a mass market deck. These are the backs. I've edged mine in black. And these are the fronts. Now, what's the word I'm looking for here now? I've heard before that people find this kind of, I don't know if it's like, it's supposed to be dolls or young girls, I'm not sure. They find them quite, you know, eerie almost, which I don't. I think the artwork is amazing. Really enjoy this deck. I will say though, however, that the guidebook is quite, it reads quite young, but saying that, you know, I take from, I think the guidebook is good, but it does read quite young, and I'm not in my teens and I'm not in my 30s. I'm way above that now. So, but I will say that I take what from the guidebook what resonates with me, you know, as maybe one should with any guidebook. And this deck is still in my collection, so even though it does read young, I'm not sure that's the right expression. I hope you understand what I mean when I say that. Yeah, I think it's a really good deck. Again, I don't pull several different cards out of this deck. I tend to use this as a clarifier, or I use it like I do the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, and like draw one card to round off a reading. Yeah. So yeah. So those are the decks I use. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm going to just recap because I'm not sure if I did mention it or not, if I just imagined it. But I'm going to say that when I do obviously use my Pandora's box every time I do shadow work, basically. And what I do is, you know, I take one of the piece of paper out of the Pandora's box, and I build my spread, tarot spread and oracle spread, around whatever that word is on the piece of paper, or the experience, or whatever it is that's on that paper. That's how I use, that's what I use to build my tarot spread and to work through that issue. So yeah, I'm kind of running that space here. Where am I going to put all these decks? I've suddenly got so many and I don't know what to do with them all. So yeah, that is pretty much that. What say you? What decks do you use for your shadow work practice? Do you have a shadow work practice? Is it something you've even thought about, having or starting? If you have any of these decks and use them for any other purpose, please let me know. I'd be really interested to know. Yeah, I think that's what I've pretty much got really today. I mean, I could say a whole bunch more, but I don't want to bore you, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care. I really hope to see you next time. Yeah, thanks for watching. Toodaloo.